All right. So, Justin, I discovered that you have a newsletter, which I'm subscribed to, and I've read a few issues of it. And if, of course, it's awesome. Your thoughts outlined here, and you're a very profound guy. And having a newsletter is something that I've actually had on my list to do for a while. In fact, confession, I feel a bit ashamed because I tell all my clients you should have a newsletter. And I've actually, at the bottom of my website, you know how the default templates come with
Yeah,
like sign up for your newsletter? Well, I forgot it was there, and I've actually had people sign up for my newsletter, and I have not put out one. So my commitment for this year is to start a newsletter. But I'm following in your footsteps, man, because it looks like you already have 30 some odd issues under your belt, and I'm really proud of you. And I would love to hear your journey with this.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Before I tell you my journey with the newsletter so far, a question for you, because I think this would resonate to so many other people as well. You want to start one. Why haven't you written the first one? Or why haven't you?
Procrastination, because, well, a few things. One, I mean, the default excuse for everything is, oh, I don't have time, right? We all say that. Um, But I think what it really comes down to is, I guess I'm a little bit scared of committing to something that I have a fear that I might not keep going and following through with it. It's really the
Yeah.
same reason that I took so long to even start a podcast,
Mm.
because I didn't know if I would be able to show up every week and commit to it on my own. So you have been my secret weapon because having someone else accountable showing up to I'll show up to a meeting. I will always show up if someone else is involved. But when it's just me, I have a tendency to like push stuff off to the side. And that's a weakness that I'm trying to work on. So yeah, that's been my hesitation.
It sounds familiar. So the quote I have for you is perfectionism is just a procrastination masquerading as quality control. Perfectionism is procrastination masquerading as quality control.
I like that. Haven't heard that one. Okay.
And and essentially that's, I mean, we get so caught up in exactly what you said. I haven't got the structure right, and what am I going to write about? What are the topics? What is the have I done the design? And that's the biggest hurdle very often to get over. So what I did for mine, and yes, I'm 30 episodes, 30 yeah, not episodes, what's the right word? 30
Issues.
newsletters in, issues,
Yeah. Yeah.
30 issues in, and it's one a week. So that's 30 weeks. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting all the way up to number 52. So I've got a year's worth of content I've been, and ideas that I've been putting down. But the biggest thing for me was to remove all the barriers that would prevent me from writing this newsletter on a regular basis. And that
Mm.
was from the design of the newsletter to what the buckets are, what content goes into the newsletter. I needed to make it as simple as possible for me to do the thing. And doing the thing is writing the newsletter, copying, pasting it into whatever mail host you're wanting to use. I use MailChimp, and then doing the blast. So that's what as complicated as I wanted it to get. So my design is a banner. I call my newsletter Just Thinking, play on my name. So it's just the Just Thinking newsletter. It's literally a banner image. It's my content and a sign off, and that's it. That's it. I don't spend hours looking for images. I don't try to add a whole bunch of fluff. I don't try to link to a whole lot of different articles or books or sell anything. I thought, what is the least I can do to send this? And the least I can do is write it, which is the intention of the newsletter, pop it in and send it off. And that's where I've got to. And now the process becomes a little bit more slick and a little bit easier. And the process of actually writing it and coming up with topics to write about, that's always the next hurdle to get to. And
Mm.
again, I've started refining, and we can maybe get into that in a second, but I've started refining that process as well. But the biggest thing, just to reiterate it, was remove the barriers. What are the barriers to preventing you from doing the thing? Make it as easy as possible. And that's what I've done with the newsletter, which has allowed me to get to 30 issues so far.
All right. I love it. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
That's it.
So, yeah, tell me more about your process. Do you keep like a spreadsheet of topics and then you kind of pull from those, or
Mm.
like you keep it in your notes app? Give me some of the tactics here.
Hey, I think you're going to be disappointed by how few tactics there are. So the first thing that I did, I had a small number of email addresses, trusted email addresses of people that I know have dealt with previously, and I asked them what would make my newsletter a must read every week. That was the question I asked. What would make this newsletter a must read? And the majority of answers were related to something around it needs to be actionable. That was it.
Mhm.
Something, it needs to be actionable. Like, obviously, a newsletter needs to be interesting and relevant and all of those things. And that makes sense. But what people want is something that I've read that, I've seen that, I can do that thing. Or you've given me something that I can walk away and actually implement now. So that was number one on my list. So I suddenly realized, okay, I need to remove all the barriers to doing this thing, make it as simple as possible. But when I write this, when I do this thing, the reader, they need to be able to action something off the back of it. So now I had my direction, what I was moving towards with every time I put pen to paper and hit send on this mailer. So my structure then is very simple. It's the newsletter, and I've chosen to call my subscribers rollers, and that's because of the keep rolling tagline of mine. So
Mm.
we all keeping on rolling. So it's hey rollers. It's my message for the day, which I send on a Sunday. It's the message, and then at the end, it's a 3 minute action. 3 minutes. That's all I'm asking. What can you do? So off the back of the message that I've just shared, take 3 minutes, pick up a pen and paper, give something some thought, and then walk away with a simple action that you can now take in your own life. So 3 minute action. So that's all I'm asking. So also don't. I'm trying to keep things KISS, keep it simple, stupid. So keep things simple. What is something
Mhm.
easy to go in action? To give somebody an action that is right, go and find 3 hours to sit down and work through these 35 questions so that you can plan your year going forward. No, it's difficult to do that. But if it take
Yeah,
3 minutes to do this and think about that and do that one thing, okay, now
yeah.
we can start building momentum off the back of that. So that really helped me. Keeping it simple, removing all the barriers, knowing what my small audience wants, which definitely translates to everybody else, something actionable, and then building that in and consistently working towards that.
Awesome. And do you have a actionable really ties into this podcast here because we always give people action steps at the end. Um, but do you have a goal for your podcast? Like, did you start it with some intention? Do you have an end goal that you're shooting for, or is it just more of like a journal, kind of a cathartic thing for you?
I think it's that. It's the journal cathartic process of writing weekly. So having this newsletter and sending it out. I think much like this podcast, Ethan, starting this, if we had started this only with the intention of we need to have X thousand subscribers and that makes it really, really tricky and it makes it difficult to show up every week if you're not seeing that growth. So again,
Mhm.
going back to my process, remove barriers, make it as easy as possible. What would people want if they read this? And then why am I writing it? And that one was pretty easy. I'm writing it for me. Like that's it. I would want to read this myself. I would want this to land in my inbox. And I find it a cathartic process for me to write this, get some of my thoughts down and share it with the world in essence. There's also something about yeah, I mean it sounds a little bit silly, but you have to show a little bit of courage to be willing to put down your thoughts and then send them out there. It's like it's feeling a little bit vulnerable is what I mean.
Mhm.
So for me, it's this idea of on a weekly basis, what is something that I would like to write about? What is something that I can be relatively vulnerable about? How can I prove to myself that that's true vulnerability? Well, I've got to hit send on this thing, and a bunch of people are going to read it.
Uh-huh.
Um, and that's enough for me. So it's the process of writing it for me. Would I want to read it? Do I think it's interesting? Yes, I do, and that's okay. The subscribers will hopefully take care of themselves, and that arrow will go up and to the right. But most importantly, I'm showing up on a weekly basis for myself, not for anybody else.
I love it. All right. So, what would be the king move that you give our listeners? I mean, do you think that every business owner should have a newsletter? Well, what are your thoughts here? What are some action steps people can take?
Yeah, it's a good question. Look, there's no shortage of content. There's no shortage of content in the world right now, whether it's newsletters, podcasts, LinkedIn posts. So if it's purely going to be because it's part of a marketing strategy, it's super difficult to show up religiously doing that. Super difficult, particularly if you committing to it, saying, "I want to write a newsletter." Like as you want to write a newsletter. It's a different comment to say my business or my brand or whatever needs to distribute or needs to send a newsletter. Okay, you're probably going to have somebody else writing that for you. Very different. But if what you're saying is I want to write a newsletter, then you've just got to give some thoughts to why that is and what is going to make it one of those things that you sit on a weekly, monthly basis, whatever it is, to write that newsletter, and what do you want to get off the back of it. But I'm certainly not going to say that I think everybody should have. I think everybody should have an outlet for your thought processes. So that's what I think everybody should have, and whether that's sharing on LinkedIn, whether that's sharing with your if you're a founder of a business, sharing with your leadership team, or in your monthly all hands meetings, you wanting to share some thought leadership of your own thought leadership with your broader team. Amazing. For me, that's more important. Is what is your outlet? Some people may be newsletters. Some people it might be recording on a podcast. Some people might be sending an email. Some people it's a LinkedIn post. What's your outlet, and choose that, and hopefully the right people will find you off the back of being able to do that.
Love it. Well, you've inspired me. And my king move for everyone listening today is go and subscribe to my newsletter. I have no idea what it's going to be called yet, but by the time you listen to this, I will have a newsletter that you can get to on ethanking.com, and it will be value packed because I'm not going to put anything out there that doesn't deliver value. So I'm putting it out there publicly to hold myself accountable. And that is my king move. Go and subscribe and reply and give me your feedback.
So you can't hijack this conversation. So please, if you are listening, go and subscribe to mine as well. It is at justinking.co.za. You'll find the subscribe link at the bottom of the page. And if you want to see all my previous newsletters as well, you can go to justinking.co.za/newsletter, and you can see all 30 of my previous newsletters.
I love it. For our Americans out there, what Justin is saying is ZA. When he says Z, that means Z in American English, just so you don't get lost there. All right. Till next time. Thanks a lot, Justin.
Thanks, Ethan. Cheers.